Hello there, fellow traveller. Coming from the wind. You've walked far today, haven't you? I can see the dust clinging to your sandals, the salt dried into your cloak from a long day under the Spartan sun. Here, sit by the fire. It's a quiet one, low and steady. Tonight, I want to tell you a story. Not just any story, but a memory wrapped in bronze and sweat, in sandals worn thin and shields heavy with meaning. It's the night before battle. You're a Spartan, not the mythical kind with chiseled perfection and endless victories. You're real, tired, hungry. And tomorrow, you may not wake again. But tonight, you're still here, still breathing, still alive. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe and let me know where in the world you're listening from, and what time it is. I always love seeing how far these little stories stretch across the lands. Now dim the lights, let the day fade, and ease yourself into tonight's story. Let's go back to a place where the only thing harder than war was waiting for it. The first light of morning in Sparta doesn't sneak in, it crashes through. There's no rooster's call, no gentle waking. The air in the barracks is already buzzing by the time your eyes open. Rough linen scrapes your skin as you shift beneath a woolen blanket that stinks faintly of salt, sweat, and pine. The air is cold, not the kind that makes you shiver, but the kind that reminds you you are not at home. You haven't been for years. Around you, other men are rising. Some are already standing at the foot of their cots, fastening greaves to their legs. Others stretch with silent discipline, their expressions unreadable. No one speaks yet. Not because of fear, but because that's the rhythm here. Sparta is a place where silence earns you more than words. You sit up slowly. Your joints ache, not from age, but from the armor drills the day before. You reach for your tunic. It's scratchy and simple, a deep red. The colour of Spartan blood, they say, so wounds won't show. There's no mirror here, no place for vanity. You don't need one. You've seen your reflection in the eyes of comrades and enemies alike. Outside, the sky is pale blue, the earth dry. The hills in the distance roll like frozen waves, olive trees dotting the horizon. The scent of smoke drifts in from the training grounds, wood, ash, and sweat blending into something that almost feels like memory. You file out with the others. Today isn't war, but it is practice. And practice here is not far from pain. You're in the agog, the Spartan military system. Even as an adult, you are still part of it, training, refining, embodying discipline. There are no civilians among you. Every man here is a soldier, born for war, trained to need nothing but his spear, his shield, and his brothers. A drill master walks down the line. His face is a map of old scars and deeper resolve. He doesn't yell. He doesn't need to. One glance and the line straightens. You grip your dory, your spear, its wood smooth from years of use. The metal tip catches the light. Then comes the call. One word, and the drills begin. Shield up, step forward, thrust, pivot, hold, advance. The sound of dozens of sandals hitting packed earth in perfect rhythm is almost musical. The sun climbs higher. Sweat beads along your neck, your brow, your lower back. Dust kicks into your teeth. Your shoulder aches, but you don't stop. Pain is a given here. Complaints are not. You fight side by side with men who have shared your meals, your wounds, your sleepless nights. You know the rhythm of their footfalls, the angle of their thrusts. You are a phalanx in flesh and blood, each man dependent on the next. You don't fight for glory. You fight so the man beside you makes it home. Later, as the drills end and the dust settles, the men disperse. Some go to the riverbank to wash. Others remain, inspecting armor, sharpening blades, or staring off toward the hills in heavy thought. You wander to the shade of a fig tree. It leans low, its leaves trembling slightly in the breeze. From here you can see the city walls in the distance, the rooftops of Sparta, where mothers hang out laundry, and children train with wooden swords. You think of your own mother. The last time you saw her, she placed a hand on your shoulder, not to say goodbye, but to remind you of your duty. Return with your shield, she said, or on it. It wasn't cruelty. It was love, shaped by the stone of Sparta itself. Lunch is simple: barley bread, olives, and a black broth so bitter only Spartans can stomach it. You eat slowly. There's no talking, no celebration. There is only focus, a quiet waiting. The men around you shift occasionally. Someone murmurs a prayer to Ares. Another ties and reties a sandal, as if tightening the straps might also steady the mind. You catch eyes with one of them, an older soldier with grey in his beard and a broken tooth. He nods once. You nod back. No one speaks of fear, but you all feel it. The afternoon passes in quieter drills, shield wall formations, marching steps. Every movement is designed not just to train the body, but to calm the mind. Familiarity makes terror smaller. At one point, a young boy runs past the barracks, a trainee, barely 10 years old. He carries a bucket too large for his arms, spilling water onto the dusty ground. You watch him struggle, grit his teeth, and keep going. You were him once. The memory stings a little, not out of sadness, but recognition. The hardest part of being a Spartan is not war. It's waiting to see if everything you were made to endure will matter tomorrow. As the sun begins to fall behind the hills, the wind picks up, the trees sway, dust curls across the ground like snakes in hiding. You sit alone on a stone, inspecting your shield. It's not decorative. There is no crest, just worn bronze, scuffed from training, dented from past fights. It is yours. It bears your weight, your fear, your family's name. You run your hand along the edge. You imagine tomorrow, standing in formation, locked shoulder to shoulder, spears forward. You can already hear the sounds, the clash of metal, the roar of men, the screams swallowed by dust. But not yet. Right now, there is still time. A few more hours before night, before armor is strapped tight, before prayers are whispered, before silence becomes sleep, before war. The sun sinks low behind the hills, turning the sky to a slow-burning bronze. You sit cross-legged in the dust outside the barracks, arms resting on your knees, the day's aches humming in your joints like a distant lyre string. The air is cooler now. Not cold, not yet, but it carries the scent of oil and iron, the scent of war waiting just beyond the shadows. Inside the barracks, the others have begun to settle. You hear the soft clatter of armor being set aside, greaves unbuckled with careful hands. Voices are still low. You notice how they don't echo. No one wants to fill the quiet too much tonight. You gather your things, your tunic, still stained from drills, your worn sandals, the small pouch of herbs tied around your waist. You stand slowly, bones creaking in protest, and step through the wooden threshold of the barracks. Inside, it's dim, lit by a few oil lamps hanging from hooks in the beams. The shadows on the walls dance like spirits caught mid-step. Your cot waits for you near the back wall. It's nothing more than a wooden frame with a straw-stuffed mat, but tonight it feels like the last soft place in the world. You sit down, lean forward, and begin the ritual of unwinding. First the sandals, then the braces, then the belt. Each buckle undone feels like shedding another layer of noise. The room is filled with slow movements, men rubbing salve into sore shoulders, sharpening blades even though they're already sharp. Someone murmurs a prayer, barely audible. Another braids leather into his wrist strap, methodically, like the act alone keeps him steady. You glance around. There's Doros, always silent, his mouth clenched tighter the closer war gets. Nikandros, who jokes too often but has the fastest spear arm in the company. Telon, young, wide-eyed, gripping a small wooden figure he carved during training. His brother, maybe, or his son. You've trained beside them for years, bled beside them, and tomorrow you may fall beside them too. A bell rings outside. Not a sharp one, a soft chime, hollow and slow. The evening meal is ready. You rise, your limbs reluctant, and join the others as they drift toward the long communal table under the open sky. The benches creak beneath the weights of tired bodies. Bowls are passed from hand to hand. Barley stew tonight, thick with lentils, a strip of dried meat in each bowl. Salted hard bread sits in baskets. It's not good, but it's warm, and warm matters. You eat slowly. Every chew feels deliberate, not because the food is fine, but because time has slowed. No one talks of tomorrow. They talk of nothing, or everything else. Nikandros says he'll finally get new sandals after this campaign, then jokes about how if he dies, someone better steal his and wear them in honor. Telon tries to laugh, but it catches in his throat. Across the fire, Doros eats without looking up. His knuckles are white around the bowl. You finish, setting your spoon down with care. A few of the men are leaning back now, staring at the sky. The stars are out, small and clear above the dust and wind. Looks like a calm night, someone mutters. It's not a statement. It's a prayer. Later, you're back inside, seated by the hearth, polishing your bronze chestplate. The dim light glints off its edges. Each dent tells a story. Drills, scuffles, your first real battle. Your fingers trace the scratches. Not with pride, not with fear, just memory. In the corner, one of the older warriors begins humming. A low tune, wordless and slow. It's a song of the hills, a lullaby sung by mothers to sons who would grow into soldiers. You close your eyes for a moment. You can almost feel her hand again, your mother, pressing your forehead when you were a boy, whispering things you didn't understand then, but hold on to now. Courage is not the absence of fear, she said. It's moving forward with it, still in your chest. You remember her braiding your hair once before the Agoj took you away. The last gentle thing you felt for years. One by one, the men begin to lie down. No one says good night. There's no such thing on the eve of war. The fire burns low in the hearth. Shadows stretch across the floor. You remain seated a while longer, back against the wall, staring at your pack. Inside it, a flint stone, a pouch of dried figs, and a single worn cloth strip, dyed blue. It's from your sister's tunic. She gave it to you before your first campaign. You keep it near your heart. You rise, stretch, and step quietly outside. The wind is soft now, brushing the tips of the olive trees beyond the camp. The moon is pale, watching but offering no guidance. You walk past the sentries. They nod. You walk past the training grounds, now empty, footprints still marked in the dirt. You keep walking until you reach the edge of the camp, where the ground rises slightly. From here you can see the valley below, and beyond it, the faint glimmer of distant fires. The enemy camp. You don't hate them. You don't even know them. War, to you, is not a matter of hate. It's a matter of what must be done, of standing where you were trained to stand, of holding the line so the man beside you can live. You sit on the ground. The earth is cool. It hums under your palms like a beast sleeping deep beneath the soil. You let your thoughts drift, not to strategy, not to the enemy, but to things that matter more in quiet moments. You think of a warm morning in Sparta when the fields smelled of wet grass. You think of that old man who once taught you to carve a spear straight from a crooked branch. You think of your friend Athos, gone now, who used to hum the same song the old warrior sang earlier, but always out of tune. And you think of what tomorrow may bring, and you think of whether it's enough to live a life of duty, even if it ends at sunrise. You don't have the answer, but you rise anyway. Because Spartans don't wait for answers. They move forward with what they carry. Back in the barracks, most are asleep. You settle onto your cot. The straw is uneven, and something sharp pokes your side. Still, it feels like home tonight. You lie on your side. The fire crackles softly. Someone breathes deeply nearby. You don't sleep right away. You just lie there, eyes open, watching the shadows crawl across the beams. Your mind hums quietly, like a string held taut. But beneath it, somewhere deep, you feel it. Not calm, not peace, but readiness. Tomorrow, you will fight. But tonight, you rest. The morning doesn't arrive gently. There is no rooster, no chorus of birdsong, only the sharp tap of footsteps outside, the cold voice of the commander barking a single word. Rise. Your eyes open to darkness. The fire has gone out. The air bites at your skin. For a moment, you lie still, feeling the weight of sleep still tangled in your limbs. Then the weight of the day settles in your chest. You swing your legs off the cot. You dress quickly, tunic first, then your sandals, then the armor. Each piece is familiar, not comfortable, but familiar. The bronze cuirass goes over your chest. The leather straps are stiff from sweat and time. Greaves cover your shins. You fasten them with practiced ease. You sling your red cloak across your shoulders and pull your helmet from the floor. Scuffed, dented, yours. It smells of iron and dust and yesterday's breath. Around you, the others are preparing in silence. One by one, the cots empty. The barracks is a storm of movement without a word. You glance across at Doros. He tightens the strap on his shin, his expression unreadable. Telon sits hunched over his wooden figurine again, pressing it to his lips, and slipping it into his pack. Nicandros catches your eye and gives you a grin far too wide for a day like this. Time to be legends, he whispers. You smirk, but don't answer. Outside, the sky is heavy and grey. Clouds hang low, unmoving, as if even the gods are watching now. The morning meal is minimal. Just a strip of dried meat and barley soaked in oil. You eat it slowly, not because it tastes good, it doesn't, but because this may be your last. No one eats fast on a day like this. A priest passes through the ranks, murmuring prayers to Ares and Apollo. He carries a bowl of wine, splashing a few drops over the heads of each soldier. When it's your turn, the droplets sting cold on your scalp. May your shield hold, he says to each man. You nod, but don't respond. Words feel too fragile. After the meal, you join the others at the armory tent. There, rows of spears are stacked like bundles of wheat. You choose your own, your dory, the same spear you've trained with for years. Its balance fits your hand like a second limb. Then the aspis, your shield. Heavy, bronze-faced, almost half your size. It's more than defense, it's your honor. A man who drops his shield in battle doesn't return, not in Sparta. You sling it over your shoulder, feel its pull on your muscles. You breathe in, steady. Your gear is complete now. You are no longer a man. You are a soldier. As the sun rises behind the clouds, your unit gathers into formation. The Lokagos, your company leader, walks down the line. He is an older man. His beard is more white than black. He has fought in 10 battles, maybe more. He stops in front of each man briefly, saying nothing, just looking. When he reaches you, his eyes meet yours. There is no speech, no cry for vengeance, just a glance that says, you know what to do, and you do. Soon the column begins to move. You march through the low hills of the Spartan countryside. The rhythm of sandals in unison creates a dull drumbeat. Your shield rests against your back. Your spear bobs slightly with each step. Around you there are no banners, no trumpets, just red cloaks and steel resolve. You pass a small farm. A woman watches from the doorway with a baby on her hip. She doesn't wave, just nods once. You nod back. You think of your own village, of the crooked tree you used to climb, of the day you were taken into the Yagoj, a boy too small for the armor you would one day wear. You march because you must, because your feet know the weight of war now. At midday, you stop at a ridge. Below, the battlefield stretches out like a plain of fate. The enemy is camped across the valley. You can't see them well, but their campfires smoke in little white trails against the dark soil. You kneel and eat what little you carried. More barley, a sliver of cheese, a few olives. Some men pray again. Others check their gear one final time. You look down at your shield. You trace the edge with your thumb. You wonder, not if you will survive, but if you will stand tall when the moment comes. There is no shame in fear, only in breaking. As the day fades, the command comes. Camp here. Sleep if you can. War comes at dawn. You build a small fire with the others. Not for warmth, for focus. You eat again. Salted figs. A swallow of wine passed in the skin. Nicandros finally quiets. He hasn't smiled in an hour. Doros polishes his spearhead in long, slow strokes. Telon kneels beside the fire, fingers twitching in silent rhythm. You sit and stare into the flames. They flicker like memories, fast, then gone. You wonder what they'll say of this day, if anyone will speak your name. Or if, like so many others, you'll be another body in the dust. It doesn't matter. What matters is the line, the man beside you, the weight of your shield, and standing your ground. A few of the men lie down near the fire, heads resting against packs or shields. You do the same. The sky is dark now. The stars are hidden. The ground is rough beneath you, but it feels right. You close your eyes, and though your heart beats faster than usual, sleep comes. Not because you feel safe, but because you've trained for this, and you need to be strong. Tomorrow you will fight. Tonight you sleep. You lie on your back beneath the thin canvas of the campaign tent. Rain taps softly overhead, a slow, constant rhythm, like the beat of a distant drum. The ground beneath you is hard-packed dirt, still damp from earlier storms, but softened now by the warmth of your cloak. Your shield rests beside you, your helmet, your spear, everything you are, everything you carry, within reach. You close your eyes, not to escape, but to rest. You don't expect sleep to come. And yet, as your breathing evens and the sounds of the camp fade to murmurs and fire crackle, your mind begins to slip, gently, like a boat drifting from shore. You dream. It begins quietly. You are back home. The Spartan hills roll in the sunlight, golden grass waving like banners in the breeze. You are a child again, barefoot and quick, racing your brother through the olive groves. Your mother calls your name. She's younger in the dream, her face unlined, her voice bright as spring. She holds a bowl of figs. You reach for one, and just as your fingers brush the fruit, the sky darkens. The wind turns cold. The sun vanishes. You blink, and suddenly, you're not a child anymore. You're standing in a field. The sky above you is red. Not the red of a sunset. This is deeper, darker, like old blood soaked into cloth. The clouds churn like smoke. You look down. Your hands grip a spear. Your shield is strapped to your arm. Armor weighs on your chest. Your feet are planted wide. You're in formation. Around you, other Spartans stand. Doros is there. Nicandros. Telon. But their faces are blurred. Their outlines ghostly, like memories fading in and out. A sound rises on the wind. Not thunder, not rain. Drums. And then, hooves. Thousands of them. Dust explodes across the horizon as the enemy charges. You don't see their faces. Only shapes, shadows, as if the dream refuses to make them real. You brace your shield. Your heart is calm. Your limbs are ready. And yet, something inside you trembles, not with fear, but with knowing. Then the charge hits. The sound is deafening, like the sky itself has cracked in half. You hold. Your spear thrusts forward, hits something solid. You feel it slide. There's a scream, a flash of steel, the crush of bodies. You push, you shove, you fight. You don't remember the details. Only flashes, the glint of a blade, the weight of a fallen man on your shoulder, the smell of blood, hot and metallic in the dust. Someone cries out, a name, maybe yours, and then it's gone again. You find yourself standing alone. The battlefield is empty now. No men, no shields, no noise, just fog. You walk forward. The earth is soft beneath your feet. The fog curls around your ankles like breath. In the distance you see something. A single olive tree bent with age, rising from the middle of the field. You approach. At its base lies your shield, cracked, splintered, but not discarded. You kneel beside it, and when your fingers brush the rim, warmth floods your chest. Not from fire, from memory, your father's voice. Hold the line. You awaken slowly. The fire outside is low, its glow just flickering under the canvas edge. Rain still falls, but softly now, like it's tired. Your breath comes easy. Your limbs ache, but they're steady. You turn your head. Nicandros sleeps beside you, snoring lightly. Doros is awake, staring at the ceiling, unmoving. Telon murmurs something in his sleep. A name. You close your eyes again. Not to sleep this time, but to hold the dream, to carry it. Because tomorrow, when you rise, the dream will become real, and you will be ready. You are a Spartan. You will hold the line.